Every day was starting to look like this. From the outside, we looked happy, but in the inside, well, you know, we couldn't even tell how long we'd been drifting away from each other, and it just kept getting worse. This was the last thing that we wanted for us. Hey, Minimal Fam, we just wanted a good marriage. But at the time, we were completely disconnected, barely spending any time together, and barely happy to see each other. It was rough. We were young, and that excited fire that we had when we first got together was being watered down and replaced by the hustle of a 9 to 5, having 2 jobs, and raising a baby for the first time. We would go weeks, even months without a date night. And work nights were just getting longer and longer for me, and weeks were just blurring together with no high moments or anything to look forward to. And we were scared. We didn't want to lose our marriage. And we've seen so many other young couples that we know go through the same things and quit. We just wanted to be happy. I was working so much and I was barely at home. I was working 2 jobs, one as a worship leader, and I was working like 6 days a week. So anytime I came home on the weekends and stuff, I just wanted to completely detach. So much of my job was centered around being outgoing and vibrant and fun, and the time that I got to be at home, I just wanted to shut off.
As for me, I was a stay-at-home mom with a then toddler, and then I had found out that I was pregnant with baby number 2. So I felt like my whole life was just kind of centered around keeping up with the house and all of our things.
We were more and more unhappy as time passed, and it really sucked because we were entering one of the best stages of life, which is having children of your own. From the exhaustion of trying to manage our home to having no time to spend together, we were at our wits' end. To be honest, we were close to calling it quits.
I mean, there's no greater disappointment. We felt like we were doing everything we could, but I mean, when it's just the 2 of you, it's a lot easier to like rekindle the flame and get things back on track. But being a young family is no joke, and it's a lot harder because it's not only just the 2 of you, you have to accommodate for the whole family. So that was pretty hard.
One of the other issues that we were having is that we had just so little in common. I was so wrapped up in drowning in work, and Carlene was fully immersed in being a mom, and it was like 2 worlds only coming together for a couple hours a day. As most people would assume and hope for, we thought that having a kid would bring us closer together. Now it did in a way, but the things that really connect you and drive a relationship were kind of being overlooked and neglected. I mean, the core of being absolutely in love was not our focus at all. And without that, what are we? Well, things started to take a turn when Carlene started to declutter Mila's bedroom because it was an absolute nightmare. There was bins and bins of clothes just everywhere, and outfits that we thought we might use or someday we would use if we had another girl, which never happened. And there was just an enormous amount of clutter like the minute you walked into the room, and it just made us so overwhelmed. And Carlene, like when there were outfits that weren't fully used by 6 months, she would make like multiple outfit changes during the day just so she could get full use of all the stuff we had. And me, I was like, when I saw an outfit that I knew already and I've used before, that's the only stuff I would grab. I know, typical dad. Well, Carlene just started crushing it and was decluttering like crazy, and I was surprised by her excitement. And that's the thing about my wife. When she is gung-ho about something, she just goes all out. When something sparks her to life, it's really attractive to me, and I was just happy to see that in her again. And she started sharing her story on Instagram, and people literally all over the world were messaging her saying, "Thank you so much, you were inspiring me." And I just felt like a proud husband. And our home, it just felt so much more peaceful, so much more calm, because we only kept the things that we wanted to keep. We didn't keep things because we felt obligated because someone gave them to us. The less stuff that we had, it gave us more space to see each other, and it gave us an opportunity to reevaluate our life. Like, what did we want it to look like? How do we want to make it special? So often in relationships, we get stuck in a rut because of our busy schedules and all the obligations of saying yes to birthday parties and baby showers and family events and you name it. And we rarely get a chance to step back and ask ourselves, what do I really want? And money. Statistics show that 80% of young couples who are married and have kids argue about money. Since we've been married, we have made huge changes to our financial life. So we've paid off $20,000 in debt. We shared that in our debt-free journey, which we'll link below, and we saved up an emergency fund. When things get crazy, we have something. And we really got a handle over our spending, but there were still things that we didn't agree on when it came to purchases, and we had to figure those things out. So there was tension to wanting to stay true to what we committed to in the beginning of our marriage. Deciding to pursue a minimalist lifestyle really lessened the arguments about purchases on things that we thought might be unnecessary, and it helped us continue building a financial legacy together. Decluttering our home made us really reevaluate the way that we spend our time. We started to become minimal with the things that we committed to. I stopped saying yes to every single thing that people ask me. I'm a people pleaser, so it's really hard for me when I feel like I should be at something. But the thing is, like, I was working 6 days a week and my schedule was already so busy, and Saturday was like my only day to be able to spend time with the family. And so that one day that I had off to be able to just really relax and recharge and shut down, I was still filling up with all the yeses that I committed to.
So I also started saying no to a lot of things because we know a lot of people, and I felt like I had like that fear of missing out, and I also wanted to socialize my kids a lot, so I felt like obligated to like go to all these things. So I started to really have to like narrow it down to what I said yes to, so that I wasn't going to an overwhelming amount of things.
One of the things that really changed the game when we started decluttering was we said yes to getting rid of our TV. It was like, for me, it wasn't a big deal because I wasn't home a lot and I was working, and we weren't watching too much. But for you, it was huge because at the time she just had Mila, and you spent all your day at home. You would watch some shows, and so would Mila. But what that did for us is, like, any idle time that we had to spend with each other. We had to talk and communicate, and we had to basically confront our marriage the way that it was, like really work through some communication barriers and talk through things. And it also helped us realize that we would buffer so much of our time by just watching shows and binging, Netflix. And listen, I'll be the first to tell you that I enjoy binges. I love to sit down and just watch, a show that I just found for hours and hours. But the thing is that it really opened my eyes to see that we were using any chance that we got to just literally detach and watch a show or something, and it took away from time together. So when I jumped in and included myself in the journey, it was really meaningful because we were looking for something meaningful to do together. And honestly, that's a huge part of why we made this channel, because we didn't want to just share moments of our lives. We wanted to share that anyone can live a minimal life and have a great and amazing, unforgettable life.
Now, getting rid of stuff doesn't fix a relationship, and I'm sure you're thinking decluttering is not going to fix a relationship. What it does is it gives you the space to focus on what really matters.
We know what we want and we know what we don't want. The more things that we got rid of, the more we're able to see each other for who we really are. And I feel like we're proud of the people that we're becoming. And there's something really beautiful about that. You might be overwhelmed and feel like, yeah, that's great. The more I minimize, the harder I feel like things are. Then this video on the left is for you. Click there, and as you're watching it, we know you'll find ways to cut yourself some slack and let minimalism do the work for you, not the other way around. Subscribe to our channel, and as always, stay minimal, friends, and we will see you in the next video.